morning, dear friends and followers of Dentist.camera. Today with a special guest. Let's invite Miguel. Sometime. Hello, Miguel.
How are you doing, Ale?
Great.
Nice to be with you here.
Yeah. So basically, we were supposed to meet each other in my dental office. Now everything ended up that you are still in Geneva in your hotel room. I'm in my
Go
dental
ahead,
office.
let me have it. Ridiculize myself. I deserve it.
No.
I deserve
I was just saying this is the typical American thinking that Switzerland is like a village and you can jump from one end to the other very easily. So Switzerland has also some dimensions from Geneva to Zurich. It's about 3 hours by car. But okay, anyway, we are here.
So yeah,
and I think
so you're not in Geneva?
No, I'm Zurich. I'm close to Zurich. Let's say close to the Zurich airport. That's reality.
Man.
But it's okay. So great having you here in this live. I know that the American community is sleeping now, so
Let's
they
wake
will
him up.
watch it.
Let's call everybody.
Or they can watch it later if they want. So basically, for those who don't know who Miguel Ortiz is, a great dentist working in New York. That's correct.
Oh, I got you. I'm in Boston. We're even.
Oh, sorry.
Typical Swiss guy thinks that everything is in New York.
Oh, that was like this was the okay. So tell everybody where you're based. I know that you're a great prosthodontist. That you have South American origins, so you speak perfectly Spanish and English.
Yes.
And
some people will disagree with that, but yes.
Yes, and you have authored an interesting book about dental photography, but it's not doing workshops, doing courses, doing everything. But today it's not about advertising our workshops, our books, what we are doing today. Today it's about discussing dental photography and social media.
Let's, first of all, thank you everybody for joining. But we have an interesting talk coming up because we've been thinking about this talk for a while. Something that is bothering you and something that is bothering me. So we want to talk about that, and I'll recommend everybody to kind of stay tuned because we're going to need you. We're going to need your opinion here on something that is very dear to our heart, which is dentistry, more than photography, right? And caring for that person, that patient that is on the chair. And it is related to photography and marketing, but that could be a good relationship or it could be a bad relationship. Ale and I have been concerned for a while now, since we've been speaking for years now, several years, believe it or not, that the way that photography is being used in dentistry is kind of sometimes getting a little bit out of control. And I'll give you a small example of this that trigger many other actions that I've been taking in social media, and then we can discuss these topics. About 2-3 months ago, I had a patient that sat on my chair, and this patient wanted to fix her smile aesthetically. It's one of those cases that you could argue you don't need anything. You know, you're already feeling weird when the patient is like, I want to do 10 veneers, and you're like, a little bit of Invisalign, maybe some bleaching, but you can't judge people for what they want to have. And there's also that thing, if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. Anyways, but that patient, not the one that really, really needs it, but the one that is borderline, just going with the times and doing something that maybe I wouldn't do on my own teeth. And as I was trying to convey that message, because I really do try to convey the message, if I don't feel like the patient needs it, I just don't want to do it. I have this thing about karma that when I do something that should not be done, then it's just not going to work out. And that patient say, I came to you because I saw you on Instagram and I saw you what you have been doing, and I think she flew for like another city, and then she pulls out her phone and she say, because I'm deciding if I'm gonna do it with you or with this other dentist in the Middle East that also I follow, and he has hundreds of thousands of followers, and his before and afters are amazing. So if you don't think you can help me, I'm gonna fly to the Middle East. And when I saw the account that she pulled out, I know that a lot of those before and afters are Photoshop. And even though I knew that from before, now having that experience on my chair with a real person that is making a life decision, an expensive one, serious one, that's when it really hit me, Ale. I was like, wow, hold on a second. This is not just Instagram anymore. This is not just somebody kind of manipulating pictures to make a before and after better. This is, wow, people are making decisions. You know, the public is making decisions of going to be treated somewhere that, you know, someone who knows a little bit about photography and dentistry knows some of these pictures are fishy. And that's when I started talking to you and I said, okay, what do you think about that? And you expressed whatever you want to tell the public that you expressed to me. And that's how this conversation came about among us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a trend, and starting the discussion, I always tell people, look, photography is, we have two options to look at our patients. We have X-rays to look through the patient, and we have photography, video, and scanning to look at our patient. Both of them should follow standards, guidelines, and be some clinical tool to document reality, what's going on with the patient, and not trying to fake something from the very start, from the very beginning. Nobody would ever do X-rays the wrong way around to not see some issues, some problems in the dentition of a patient. So why should we start taking pictures that are not showing the reality and not also showing the patient, look, that's how you look? For example, you could take videos. Videos are a little bit harder to fake. There are also filters when shooting videos. But at the end, I remember one thing. So 15, 20 years ago, when you were lecturing in the States, you had to sign that your images have not been altered. No Photoshop, nothing. They stopped doing it for two reasons. First of all, it's almost impossible to find out if something is fake. The best way, the easiest way to fake something is take the picture, do the Photoshop, print out your picture, and then take a photo of this printout. Then you have an original. So basically, you can fool everybody if you want, but at the end, I tell everybody, if you make grow papillas, if you make something look over perfect, sometimes it's look like better than nature. Then you are at the end fooling yourself, first sight. But the second one, and I think this is the bad part, you're fooling your patients. And
I'll give you a third one. And it's a great example that you mentioned, the papilla. That's a classic one. I guess we're trying to train our audience right now to spot fakery, right? How can you and I know when something is fake? Well, growing papilla has been the holy grail of dentistry, right? I mean, very few people can achieve that. And I would say almost nobody in a consistent basis, right? You might have some cases in which the papilla drop. You might have some patients in which you did some surgery and reposition some tissue, and then you wait for healing. You're like, oh, wow, good luck, I did it. And you might have some dentists that are better at that than others. But I don't believe, and if anybody wants to prove me wrong, great, because it will be great for everybody. I don't believe that you can every single time, every before and after, start with a papilla that is not there in every single tooth or in between every single tooth. And then the final is this perfect, beautifully shaped papilla all the way go to the contact point of this anterior teeth. And it's just, there's no scar tissue. It's all nice and orange peel looking with all the stippling. So when I see that, that's a giveaway that consistently that papilla has been Photoshopped. And for those who don't understand Photoshop, you can do whatever you want with Photoshop. You can make things appear that are not there. You can stretch things, you can copy things, you can remove things. So don't think it's impossible to do. Now, there's a third aspect. You say, once you're fooling yourself, thinking that you're great when you're not. Two, you're fooling the patients, which is, I think, the most important one. But third, fooling your colleagues, a lot of them, at a rate of 5,000 to 6,000 likes a picture. And those colleagues that they cannot do what you're doing. How come they've been trying? How come they've been reading? How bad they are, how bad they feel, that they work really hard, that they went to school, that they're trying to do everything right. And man, I cannot get those results. I must be a horrible dentist. And that's another one that I...
Yeah, that's why, for example, many dentists have still private profiles, because they're afraid that when they expose their work or themselves to the community, that they get like, you're a bad guy, you're a bad dentist. Look at your cases. You're nobody, and this is dangerous. And again, I think we should work on creating more awareness. Also in the dental community, it's not only the patients, but also the dentists. Also, the dentists should not make themselves crazy or freaking out, saying, "What the hell is going on? Why am I still the poor small dentist with two left hands, not able of doing what I'm seeing here on social media?" And it's like the saying, the Facebook university or the Instagram university. This is really things that have to be watched with some critical aspects, watched twice before you just double tap and like something. Because what I have experienced, if you ask questions, you will never get answers.
Yes.
So I post in so many cases, and I do it every day.
Yes, you
do. I see something, and then I ask politely. Dear colleague, is it possible to see more steps of this procedure? Because I want to learn. I want to learn. You can share it with me in a direct message, or you don't have to. We don't have to start an open discussion. No, nothing comes back. And it's like in what I used to do 20 years ago, when I saw a lecture, and it was a little bit like, this is too good to be true. Then I asked the speaker, "Is it possible to visit you in your office and watch over your shoulders?" And if there's no answer, then I think there's something wrong.
Yeah. You and I started doing this social media of what we were already doing without social media a little bit earlier than others, right? And that doesn't mean too much, like 2013, 2014, 2015. When we started doing this, and you and I being a photographer ourselves, it was easy to create good looking content, okay? When Instagram was mostly about pictures, right? So showing good before and afters, showing good lab pictures, very nice lighting that very few people knew how to do. It was very easy to grow your account. That's how I started, right? Good pictures, good dentistry together. People liked it and followed. But somewhere around 2016, I remember when I started getting many messages of people saying, "How do you do that? I cannot do it. It's so frustrating. I cannot do what you do." And I said, like, no, hold on. And I will say, hold on a second. That picture that you see is one of 100. It's one of 100. I can show you the other 99, and 50 of them are going to look like yours. So it's not that different. It shows you, I know how to play with the light. I know how to play. I know at what point of the position I need to take the picture. I know I have the equipment. And then I consider myself, I'm an average to good dentist, so the dentistry is also already a little bit good, but it's not like I'm the best dentist in the world. So about 2017, I'm already sitting at around 100,000 followers, and I started feeling this, no pressure, this responsibility. I started feeling this responsibility for what I was posting, and I decided that I was not going to post almost, because I still did a little bit. I was going to stop doing before and afters. I had nothing against the before and after per se, but on a big account like mine at the time, it was making people question their results. And what they wanted to see was the in-between. So I started showing the in-between. I started showing the impressions. I started showing the preps. I started showing the surgeries. But that didn't explain why I did it like that. And when you have a lot of comments on a picture, then I can't explain why I do this step to everybody every single time. So then I realized that I wanted to change the medium, and that I wanted to start talking science. And I met with many other dental people that have big accounts at the time, and I said, I'm done with before and afters. I'm done with the pretty picture. I'm going to start doing this series, which now is called Let's Talk Pros, I'm going to say, I'm going to talk science. He's like, who's going to want science on Instagram? I'm like, somebody will. And if they don't, maybe they find it. But yeah, and I understand that you create content. I understand that it has to be quick. It has to be concise. It has to be to the point. It has to be funny or controversial, right? You know the game, right? So that's what I started doing. But I reduced my posting. I did more stories. I did less before and after. Now, when I had this interaction with this patient that I mentioned before, I said, okay, this is getting too much. So I started a movement about 2-3 months ago in which I said, show me the preps, right? Hashtag show me the preps. Hashtags describe your protocol. Hashtags, answer my questions. And what I did is I asked to my followers, not for them to show me the preps. The show me the prep hashtag, which is hashtag show me the preps. And immediately everything started showing me the preps and tagging me and say, guys, I'm not asking you to show me the preps. I'm asking you to ask that person who you're about to like a before and after to show you the preps. Because if you look at a before and after of a veneer case, for example, and there's 8 veneers or something like that, and let's say it's not Photoshop. Let's say it's a beautiful before and after. Before, after, ceramic is good, gum looks great. And he has 5,000 likes or 3,000 likes, mostly from colleagues, right? How do we know that the patient needed that treatment? How do we know that the preparation is adequate? How do we know that the bonding protocol is appropriate? How do we know that the occlusion has been taken care of? Because in reality, all you're seeing is a before and after, mostly of a ceramist, right? That's a ceramist right there. Yes, the dentist maybe glued that on, but how many times I have a patient in my office that come for a remake of a treatment, and the patient smile and it looks okay, and then you get a probe right at the gingival, and you can see my whole probe can go under the veneer. I've gotten that a million times. Well, that would have been a 5,000 like before and after picture. So my show me the preps hashtag is telling my followers, if you're about to like a before and after, fine. Ask that person to show you the preps. Ask that patient to tell you the bonding protocol. Ask that person to tell you about occlusion and how did he get to that. And the other one that I'm going to start, I don't want to say pushing, but considering is like this idea that most dentists who show a lot of before and afters will say, if I go and read their note, their clinical note on the computer, at some point probably says, patient denied ortho. Denied ortho. Patient denied ortho. And I know how patient denied ortho. If you even, as the doctor, brought it up, if you brought it up, it's probably, well, we can do some veneers here, we can do some bleaching, or we can do some ortho, ortho. But veneers, right? You can do it, in 2-3 appointments, we're done. Bleaching might or might not work. Ortho, I don't know if you want to go ortho, Miss Smith. I mean, we can do it, but, it'll take about 6 weeks and you have to have things in your mouth. That's not telling the patient the truth of the thing. That's heavily weighting and telling the patient you shouldn't do ortho, right? So, and I know, and I've seen it, I know that that's how many doctors do it. The ones that mention it, many of them don't even mention it. So these are things that I know personally, and I'm about to run that concept, I know personally should not be done. Because I know that when I tell a patient, well, if you're going to do ortho, it's not comfortable, but we can do it if you want. But, veneers, on the other case, my ortho acceptance is almost null. But when I tell a patient, listen, I truly, truly think that if you give me 20 weeks of Invisalign, and I tell you the negatives of Invisalign, but I word it myself, and it's true, and it's not such a big deal, I can get your tooth to a position that then when I do your veneer, I barely have to touch them. And we can even get into airway and many other occlusal benefits of putting the teeth in the right position. Now, if you don't want to do it, great, but you're here for my opinion. I can cut more teeth and give you something, or if you give me just 20 weeks, just to get them, or maybe 25 or whatever, just to get them close enough, I can really give you a much better treatment. When I do that, which is me changing the way I say things, my conversion rate to pre-treatment ortho is almost 60%. You still have some that are not going to do it. And that's also that we need to talk in social media. That is along the ways of the before and after, which is, are we giving the patients what they want? Is an after representative of a good treatment? Is an after picture representative of a good, well done treatment? And we need to
No,
ask
it's not.
those people.
Yeah, but the question is, so I posted thousands of questions with let's say almost zero answers. Some colleagues, when I asked what ceramic are you using, what cement are you using, answered, but let's say 98% just ignore questions. They just want to see the likes. It's like a drug. And some patients saying, "Well, doctor, I want this," you know, but how can we convert the dental community or convince the dental community that on social media we all should be more critical and especially be more communicative, exchange knowledge, exchange things, because only this brings dentistry ahead. It's not looking at something and not realizing what's behind all this.
Well, so far what I come up with, and it might not be the only way, is the best way that I have come up with, is to ask, from where I am, right? Large account, lots of followers, to ask my followers to be more critical, but respectful. Critical, but respectful. You can ask a question that is rhetorical, but nicely, okay? Sometimes the question is true question, sometimes it's a rhetorical question, like saying, hey, I see something else, but you can do it in a respectful way. My thought is, if we see something that doesn't make sense, if we see something where the papilla is growing, if we see something where the before and the after, the before is yellow and the after one is white, right? If you look at the gums and they look orangey yellow on the before picture and then they look bluish white on the after picture, that's a manipulation for you to think that the after is better, okay? For example, if you see papilla where the before it wasn't, in 1 out of 10 cases, okay, maybe it happened. Ask that person, don't worry about it. Ask that person, how you achieve that? That's amazing, right? Like, did you do a surgery? Did you make a flap, brought it down? Did you do it with your professionals? So if you're gonna get 5,000 likes for that picture, and you had 300, 400 people asking the same thing, instead of saying, amazing, doctor, what a job, you're the best, doctor, I can't believe every time delivered. If we start changing that balance, at some point, that dentist is gonna realize that the gig is up. At some point, that person is gonna realize, we see what you're doing, we're concerned for our profession of what you're doing, and you're not, you know, it's gonna make other people questions too, right? So that's how I've been trying to go, because I'm not gonna go and name names. I'm not gonna go and ruin careers. That's not the point. But I do want to protect the patient. And when I say show me the preps, ask me for the protocols and things like that, that includes me. You should do that to me. Okay, whatever I post, just ask the question. My answer or not, that goes into a variety of things. It might be a super busy day. I might miss it. You might be one of 300 questions. But just ask the question no matter what. If I can, I answer. If I cannot, I don't. But at least other people are looking at your question and say, oh, yeah, it's right. Look, Miguel posted this, but Jose brought a good point here. So now you're, you know, so that's so far what I've come up with. And this
at the end, it's about being more critical and not just watching, browsing, clicking, and maybe doing some all these smileys and all these emojis. They don't make sense. This is no conversation. You know?
And grow.
Yeah.
What else you got for me?
No, that's a great point.
Do you have any questions coming through? I want our followers watching right now. If they want to ask some questions, we can go to that as well. But what an amazing work you've been doing, man. It's just out of this world what you've been doing in the last X years of your career, but in the last 5 when it comes to social media and photography. I remember flying to Berlin in 2019 when, no, it wasn't 19. What was it, 18? When you had the first conference that eventually didn't happen, but Was it 18 or 19?
18 we planned, and then in 19 we did it in Seville.
So 18
Spain.
it was going to be Berlin. Great, because I got to travel from Berlin. You see, second time that I travel to see you, but you're not in that city. It's not the first one. So I remember when I heard about the first dental photography course, my book was about to be published at the time. And I told Jesus Ostos and who else was there? A bunch of us were there. We ended up getting drunk at a pub that night because we didn't go to the conference, but that's a different story. We had fun. And from then on, you've been killing. I know the new conference is coming online. When is that at? September?
The new conference will not be a conference. That's a good point. It will be a Vimeo OTT channel. You heard about Vimeo OTT? So this is like Netflix. This will be like a Netflix for dental photography, but not only dental photography. It will be related to communication, shade taking, social media, all the points that we have discussed. So giving the dental community a source of informing them on a base, but seeing all the aspects. So we will have people. I so far have more than 30 colleagues from around the globe giving or promised me to send me their video, their input that can
now you're gonna have to chase them.
This. But the thing is, it will not be a one-time event. So this is a channel that will be set up using or with the help of Vimeo. That is then also, you can watch it also on your smartphone. You can subscribe on your smartphone. There's a bunch of options. And I think this is then the next level of communication, of education, using this technology that is around for 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
And we will do, or I will organize like a kickoff meeting, September 16 and 17. Will not be a conference, a physical conference or anything, but 1 or 2 day I have to decide online event where all people watching, and we will organize this event for free. So the kickoff event will be free with a lot of giveaways and prizes. So this is like a marketing event to launch. It's like on Disney Plus, Obi-Wan Kenobi streaming May 25th.
Mandalorian.
So
you're the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian, and this is Dental Photography channel starting streaming September 16, 2022. So this is what we are, or what I'm planning to do with the support from by Vimeo and also Sony. You know that I'm an Iconian for.
I was gonna say you jumped the boat.
No, I'm not jumping the boat. But the thing is that Sony is giving me equipment. I'm testing it. They came to my office, filming a whole day. They will set up a website for me on their B2B channel. So you cannot say no. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. Sony is doing what we've been asking the other two to do, to look at dental photography as a big corner of the business, and they don't understand it. And if Sony comes in and eat the cake for them, good for Sony.
Yes, absolutely. And for me, it's also a chance to bring in my experience and have also some fun working with them. So we had a great time so far. And I'm really looking forward to the results. So it's going
to be an amazing event, and I wish you the best. I know you asked me to contribute, and at this time I couldn't do it, but we're going to be doing something together. Listen, I have a question for you.
Yes.
We were talking about before about how there might be 7 or 8 or 10 of us who about 5, 6, 7 years ago went really hard on dental photography courses in the United States and North America and Latin America. There's 2 or 3 of us who went really hard. Angel Cabrera, Ostos and Adamo, they have their courses. I did my courses, and we kind of spread the gospel on dental photography. And we see many others now that sometimes they took our courses, now they teach courses, and that's great. Like really, it is. It's not irony on what I'm saying. And in Europe too, you have big names like Milos and Dental Photo Masters and others, right? Now, you were mentioning to me, it's amazing when they advertise their courses, they always advertise the choose-off boxes, the model, the strawberry in the mouth, and the people taking pictures of that, which is marketing-wise a great thing, because that's what some people want to learn. But at the end of the day, we want to improve how to take pictures inside of the mouth, for whatever reason it is. You and I know very well that taking pictures inside of the mouth is very tricky. It's not easy. It might become easy at some point and we forget how hard it is. And I know that it's hard for many reasons, but one is, I want to tell you this story that I don't know if it happened to you. Many times when I do my own dental photography courses, one day in which I do hands-on and lecture, I sometimes will hire a photographer to film me teaching photography so that then I can have marketing footage. And sometimes it is not easy to teach photography in front of a photographer. You have this little thing that they're going to be judging you, right? And many times I had the thing in which the photographer will, during the class or after, say, why are you doing it like that? That's wrong. Why are you shooting an f/32? That makes no sense. We never go above 15. And why are you telling them to get this lens? And why are you telling, for them, it makes no sense. Why are you talking about temperature so much, color temperature? We don't even care. Well, like you don't, but we do. And what I do those times, and I've done it twice with very good photographers, I say, okay, I don't want to argue with you because you're a colleague photographer, but here's the model, and there's your camera and your lens. Go ahead and give me a picture of all the teeth in focus and well lit. And they go like, what are you talking about? There's the mouth, and here's the dental chair. I'll give you my lights if you need. Go ahead and give me a picture of all the teeth from the front to the back, lit and in focus. But I don't want the whole face. I just want this. They can't do it, right? They can't do it because they're not used to having to take a picture within 2 inches of the subject. They're not used to having to focus there. They're not used to having to have everything the same lighting conditions and in focus, and they can. So imagine if a photographer is having trouble doing that, a dentist who might or might not even like photography now tries to do it. So no, it's not easy to take pictures inside of the mouth. There is a learning curve to it. Everybody can learn to do it, but it's not easy. So when I wrote my book, I understood something. And I know you reviewed all the books. You have them all. You did beautiful reviews of one per one the book. You told which one's your favorite. So now I remember that. So you know every single book that has been written. When I was writing my book, I was fighting with Quintessence to not do another textbook. For my book to be this way and not that way, for my book to have 3 words, not a million. And the reason was, I said, listen, half of the people that are going to buy this book, or half of the people that take my course, they're not photography aficionados. They're doing this because they feel that the profession has pushed them to learn this. So it is not easy to go into opening a book about something that you already feel like, why am I doing this? So what I decided to do is, how can I make it as simple as possible? Because I understand that if I'm interested in a topic, I'll pick the thick, fat book with 1 million words because I'm seeking it. But if I feel like I have to learn it now at the age of 40 or 50 or 60, because everybody's doing it and because now we need to have marketing, it has to be very simple. And that was the approach that I took to my book. But what I want to tell our listeners or viewers is, no, you're not alone. Yes, it is difficult. It is learnable. And now there's a new set of cameras that have come out to the market at an affordable place where before they were very expensive. In these cameras that now they're affordable, they have a different kind of sensor that before we couldn't afford, that makes that difficulty much more easier. So it might be the time now, if you've been thinking for 3, 5, 6 years, to get Ale as a coach, to go to Dental Photo Master and take a course, to call Milos and take a course, to call me and take a course, whoever. Because things have changed in a way that now is much easier and more affordable. And dental photography, you might even like it. And so that I wanted to put that out there because I understand that most dentists, photography is like, oh, do I have to learn this now? But I would like to have the cool pictures. I love to, but do I really have to go through the process? Well, the process has become much easier now.
Totally agree. Totally agree with you that, and I'm trying, and you are, and many others out there are trying, motivating our friends, our colleagues out there to start taking pictures. I always tell them, even if you start doing it with your smartphones, just to get the feeling.
That's a big change for us, right?
But
that's a big change for us. to say that your phone is good, it hurts, right?
Yeah, no, I don't say that the phone is the number one tool today for dental photography, well, because there are some issues regarding, number one, the lens, because also in the future, the main focus is not dental photography for the smartphone industry. Number two, you need software where you can control everything that is controllable also within our camera, color, temperature, and many other settings. And this makes it, if you really want to master mobile dental photography, it's, from my point of view, even harder than getting a camera, a macro lens, and a flash. I think the basic dental photography kits are easier to use, easier to learn. You set them up, you memorize the settings, you turn the camera on, and you push the button. If you turn on your smartphones, there's no way that the settings you have found out during the shooting can be saved somewhere and then reproduced. So the
other thing is, that's a great point, that it might be even harder, that it might look easier at the beginning, but if you really want a little better of photography, actually you're gonna have to tweak your phone in ways that it might not even be possible. You get this all the time, I'm sure, and I get this all the time. Which camera do I buy? Which lens do I buy? Do I need Photoshop? Do I need Lightroom? Where do you edit your pictures? Which is the best lighting system? Those are questions that come all the time, because I'm about to upgrade my system, right? Doctor, I'm about to upgrade what I have because, I've been using this for a long time. What do I buy? And my answer to them always is, what you buy is a course. What you buy is a course, which might cost you a couple $100 or more. And once you take that course, now you bought the knowledge. All these questions about which camera do I buy, which lens do I buy, which light do I buy, how do I take this picture, all those get answered at those courses by all these people around the world that offer them. And once you do that, you're going to save so much money on buying the wrong thing, and you're going to save so much money on spending a month or a year of trial and error when we've already done it for you. We went through the pain of what works and what doesn't. So instead of you trying to figure out where you put your lights, I can tell it to you in 5 minutes. Or Milos can tell it to you in 5 minutes, or Alessandro can tell it to you in 5 minutes. Don't go through the same pain. We can shorten your learning curve a lot just by taking a course. And then you're going to realize that it's not about the camera, that it's not about the lens, that it's mostly about the light. And knowing how to manipulate light will help you with almost any camera settings. Yes, some cameras will be a little bit better than others. But I always said, buy a car, you need to learn to drive, because it doesn't matter if you get a Ferrari or a Fiat 500. You don't know how to drive, you're going to struggle with the Ferrari, you're going to crash the Ferrari, and it's going to be expensive. But if you go to school and learn to drive, then buy whichever car you want.
That's a perfect summary of the whole discussion we had today, because if you learn to manage all these tools, then you also realize what is good, what is bad, what you have to take a closer look at, also when judging the results of others, and then I think we come back to the beginning, then asking questions and a little bit being more critical towards what others are posting and doing. And that's, for example, why my account started also with posting or reposting clinical images. And then I realized there are so many out there. I want to switch my strategy completely. Yeah. And
you didn't want to be Denti Pro.
No, I want I want to teach people. I want to share my knowledge. Yeah. I want to give you the information you need to get better. And then it expanded. I expanded my niche from photo to video, because I'm doing video shooting every morning, and also how to create social media content, how to package all these things that belong together in one thing. And so far, I think there's no one else doing this in this format. I'm still struggling sometimes.
I don't know if people understand the amount of time and effort, and I'm not even counting your last 20 years, which is where you gather the information in your head. But I don't know if people understand the amount of hours and effort that you put out of your day, out of your family, out of your wife, out of your friends, to create a 2-minute video, well-written, well-scripted, subtitle, engaging, fun, with a little bit of music and some logos, and every single day for them to receive free. So if nobody has ever said this to you, I'm going to say it on behalf of everybody of your 76,000 followers or whatever you have, because we appreciate it a lot. We really do. It's a day-to-day grind to get something out there, not for free to you because you have a business side of it, but for free to everybody who doesn't contribute to your business. Okay? And I think one thing is for Facebook to have a free account for everybody. Another thing is for one person to create out of their day, their life, something for you. And I hope every single one of your followers, and I'm sure they do, but if you haven't yet, you should say thank you to Ale for everything he does, because he doesn't have to do it. He has a dental office of his own. He has patients of his own. And he doesn't have to give you all these tips, to go through the trouble of getting me on it, to even separate a whole Saturday and then this American comes and is in a different city. He doesn't have to do it. So I want to say thank you for everything you've been doing, because I know what it takes. And I want people to understand that a 5-minute video or a 3-minute video is a 2 to 3 hour thing out of your life every day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for this unexpected.
I mean, I really do.
No. Miguel, I know you that you will never say something just to be like polite or no. I know you as an open person, and I'm the self. I'm also someone who tries getting to the point, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult that the opponents don't get the message, or feel a little bit like, oops, is he attacking me? No, we are not attacking people.
No,
we are trying to create discussions. We are trying to communicate on a professional level. But sharing my passion for 30 years is sharing photography, CAD/CAM dentistry. You know that, Miguel. So we are on the same boat. Where you're on the other side of the ocean. I'm here in Europe.
Or something.
But
weren't you like the first one to own a CEREC machine in your office, or if not the first one, the second one?
I was the second patient in 1986 at the university, and I was one of the first dentists working with CEREC in 1990. So 32 years ago. So, but this is a different story. This is a different story. My CAD/CAM history, still passionate about CAD/CAM dentistry, still having the words in my ear of Professor Merman when we were young students, and he was talking about how a machine can improve our daily work, and again also a photo machine can improve our daily work. So these are all tools that I tell people, get your dentistry to a higher level, make it more predictable, more repeatable, and monitoring yourself, be it with scanning your preps, be it taking picture of your work. This makes you a better dentist, because then you get the self-evaluation. And for me, self-evaluation is one of the key elements of photography, of CAD/CAM dentistry. So sometimes you scan your prep and say, did I do this prep? What?
I thought it was smooth.
Is this my prep? This must be from Miguel. This is not from me. This is from somebody else. And then you say, okay, come on, let's go back and redo it and make it better. And the same applies also to photography. And that said, it's important that we don't do fake photography, because fake photography hides our mistakes. And then you look at this softbox image and say, wow, I'm a big dentist. I'm a great dentist. Wow.
That's
I'm
a
so
great
cool.
point. I know you're trying to close it, but actually I want to go in there. You got time?
Yeah, give me 5 minutes.
Okay, we got 5 minutes. You just brought out a good point, and we're going to close this, but let's use 3 minutes of the 5 minutes. What does he mean by fake photography? If you use soft boxes, if you use the light with these big boxes, what it's going to do is going to make everything smooth. It's going to make everything glossy, these beautiful pictures. Okay, let's say you want to take a picture of your anterior preps, or you want to take a picture of the after and the before. If you only use the soft boxes, it's going to make your result look better if you use them right. So what you're saying in a way is like, be careful, because you can start lying to yourself about how good you are at the end. So it just crossed my mind. If you're going to do that, take a picture with the soft boxes, post it on social media if you want, show the preps, but then take a picture without the soft boxes so that you can evaluate yourself with the real thing. This is the analogy of, do you want to know if your after is good? Take an alternate impression of that after and pour that model on stone and look at the model. That's what it used to be, right? Like, look at the model of your after really closely, and you're going to start seeing all the line angles being maybe not where you wanted them, all this imperfection appear. So that's great what you should say right there. Be careful, because if you only take light modified pictures, eventually you're going to think you're great, and in reality, it's kind of like a filter, right? Good point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I always say I sometimes do this, but always as an addition. So the artistic photography is an additional thing that I'm doing. So the sequence can be lateral flash, bounced image, polarized image, fluorescence image. So this would be like the full sequence that not everybody's doing, and I'm not doing it all the time, but the standard illumination, 45 degrees with a flash, that sometimes you say, oh, this looks awful, but it's reality. It's the reality. And again, do this. You can do whatever you want in addition if you have time, but who will start faking their radiographs? Why should you start faking your radiographs? And the photo is a legal document, as your radiographs are. And nobody would ever think about photoshopping their radiographs. I know that this also happens.
Oh yeah. The margin look great on every single crap. Yeah.
Yeah, but in an average there's less photoshopping on, or even thinking about photoshopping of x-rays than thinking of photoshopping of your clinical images. So basically, I think this closes the circle that we started with, being more critical, talking to each other. Please post comments. If you think that something does look a little bit strange, ask the question, ask, as Miguel was saying, show me your prep or show me some clinical steps. Even if you send me a direct message with some clinical steps that I can learn, but I want to learn, I want to improve myself. So I think this is the message that we can get out to our followers, to dental colleagues from around the globe. And Miguel, thank you very much for taking your time. And for sure, this was not the last time that we were talking about not only dental photography, but everything related to this topic, and sharing our passion for dentistry with everyone who wants that we share it with them. Okay. Yeah. So best greetings to your wife. Enjoy Geneva. I know that you will meet Francesca and Didier, or you already met Didier.
Didier tomorrow, Francesca the day after.
Okay. So I'm looking forward to these interesting talks, and talk to you soon.
Have a good one, Ale. Thank you very much.